How's it going, everyone? Laughing here. And last week, Guerrilla Games showed off the gameplay reveal trailer for Horizon Forbidden West, which is actually coming out this year on PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4. I myself am super duper excited to get my hands on this game. It looks fantastic. So today I'm going to talk about the top 10 new things that I saw in the gameplay reveal trailer. They got me most excited. But before I get to the list, make sure you hit that subscribe button and like the video as well. It really goes a long way to helping the channel grow, and I seriously would appreciate it. All right, so we're going to start off with probably like my most favorite new thing that's going to be in the game, and that is the new mechanical monsters we are going to encounter and face. But the first one for me, of course, is going to be the Claw Striders, the kind of Velociraptor looking mechanical beasts. They look super cool. Velociraptors are like my favorite dinosaur ever. They had, kind of like a T-Rex looking one in the first game, so the fact that they have Velociraptors in here now just gets me super excited. And then when they revealed that we could ride them too, like, I'm gonna be riding these bad boys into battle. It's gonna be awesome. I am super pumped on that. And then we also have the Tremor Tusks as well, kind of big elephant looking type of guys, and AI enemies can actually ride them, which is really cool. So it's going to be an interesting kind of challenge. They kind of look like mobile fortresses almost. I think I just think it'll be kind of a cool challenge to face those down, try to have to take that down as well as the enemies that are on top, and hopefully we can kind of ride them ourselves. I think we will be able to, but yeah, kind of cool and exciting with that. There's also some other ones as well. It looked like there's kind of like a boar looking one in one of the initial kind of reveal trailers for the game. And I believe those ones are actually called the Bristlebacks. So they look kind of cool. I'm kind of pumped on that. But we also have some big turtles as well. They're the Shell Snappers. Those look really awesome. Hopefully, maybe I can tame that and ride it as well. Basically, all these monsters and mechanical beasts, I just kind of want to ride. They just look super cool. And I'm also really excited to kind of face them down in combat, kind of see kind of the differences with kind of how they kind of react. I will say in the first game, they did a really good job with having each kind of individual beast, for the most part, kind of feel like its own thing, especially like the bigger ones. Like the Thunderjaws definitely felt much different fighting that than like, the crab guys or really anything else, let's be honest. Yeah, I really like the kind of differential between the monsters. Really hope that they do that more in this game. Looks like they're going to, but in general just really makes me excited. With new mechanical monsters to face, I gotta say, and this is number 2, is the new human faction actually looks pretty neat. I really like kind of what they're wearing, their getup. It makes them look fairly unique from what we saw in the first game. I gotta say, it looks like they are really kind of coexisting very well with the mechanical monsters, which I really am actually looking forward to see. We saw that a little bit in the first game, a little bit more closer to the end, but I kind of want to see that idea, especially with the AI in combat, get fostered a little bit more, kind of see an advancement of that from the first game. Thing that's going to make combat be even more interesting, so I really dig that. Hopefully we'll kind of see a little bit more of that in the sequel here. But humans themselves, they look kind of interesting, especially the sledgehammer guy. He looked like a really interesting kind of enemy to face, and I'm really hoping we get more enemies, human enemies like that. I think that's pretty interesting. I know in general, when it comes to the Horizon kind of universe, it is mostly focused on the mechanical beasts, but I say let's give the players really kind of cool and interesting human enemies to face as well. I think that will really spice and enliven up the combat here and there, and I'm really kind of looking forward to see potentially what else they have with us when it comes to human enemies. I definitely think that the new setting in the game is pretty interesting. It looks like they're in like San Francisco in California. California, geography wise is pretty interesting kind of area to explore, especially like post-apocalyptic. So really looking forward to see that. I have a feeling that we're probably gonna get a little bit more into like Oregon potentially, maybe even Seattle as well, with some more of like the forests up there, the redwood forest. So that'd be kind of cool if we could see a little bit more of that, and potentially even as south as like Mexico. That could be kind of interesting. We've kind of always stayed in the US for the most part, so it could be kind of interesting to kind of see what's going on down there. I know the whole world's been pretty affected, but I don't know, it'd just be kind of cool to get out of the US even just for a little bit there, and a little bit more of Arizona as well. Kind of see a little bit more of that area. For me, it'll just everything looks super beautiful when looking at it. I really like the new environments as well, which is actually the next thing. New environments, the sandy beaches, the more tropical theme. I really dig it. Really looking forward to just trying to take down monsters in that kind of beautiful, luscious world. It just all looks super good. And based on kind of the previous trailer, looks like we might get some more like Swampland 2 kind of mixed in there as well. So really excited to see what other kind of new environments we will get in the sequel here. But even the environments that we've gotten so far have been super duper interesting. And kind of with that, I gotta say the underwater exploration just seems super cool. I really hope that there's a big kind of emphasis on that. For me, I'm super scared of really anything underwater. You throw some mechanical beasts in there, ooh, that could be interesting. That could be a little scary potentially. So, you know, maybe some like mechanical squids in there, mechanical sharks. I might be getting ahead of myself, but kind of all sounds like really cool. I look forward to kind of spelunking in these now sunken kind of cities and areas. Sounds like a lot of fun. They have like current elements in there as well. So yeah, in a general sense, I am super excited to check out the underwater of this game, which is not something I usually say, but it is seriously so beautiful to look at. It's so visually appealing that really, how can I not be excited to be underwater in Horizon Forbidden West? It just, like I said, looks fantastic, and yeah, I'm really hoping that they lean in and have some really cool elements with that, more than what we just saw already. But even if we already saw everything with it, it looks fantastic. Still excited regardless. Movement is super important in these open world games, whether it be getting you to point A to point B, horizontally or vertically. It is really important and can really kind of help shape a game and have it be more fun or less fun, kind of depending on how well it's been incorporated. That being said, Horizon Forbidden West looks like that they've improved the movement from the first game, and the first game, in my opinion, had pretty decent movement for the first part, but really happy to see that they're expanding that here in the sequel. And one of the new equipments that we actually have accessible is the Polecaster. It's going to let you be able to catch ledges that are further away. Otherwise, it also looks like it can kind of launch you up in the air. So kind of really cool new piece of equipment, and really adding to you being able to explore with new movements as well. So very, very excited with that. Another really cool piece of equipment is the shield wing. It looks super awesome, and I think it's actually a very welcome and somewhat needed new piece of equipment in the second game. I remember playing the first game, and once you got up really, really high, it could be kind of a big pain in the butt to get down. So thank you. It's actually going to save players a lot of time, especially from the first game. So that is pretty awesome. And it's called a shield wing as well. So we kind of saw the wing part of it. I'm kind of curious to see if it's going to be also a shield as well. Seemingly, it kind of, to me, seems like a lot of the equipment that we might get will also help with movement, but also maybe combat that they didn't show off. I'm kind of curious to see if that's going to be the case. But kind of regardless, what we've seen so far of it looks really cool. Very, very handy piece of equipment. It just looks neat and cool as well. So really look forward to this new piece of equipment in Horizon Forbidden West. Combat in the first game was actually really good, in my opinion. I really enjoyed myself. I enjoyed a lot of the equipment that we had available, and it looks like in the sequel, they're actually expanding that equipment even further. So we got a really cool kind of spikes thrower. Looks like kind of like a grenade thing almost that goes right into the enemy and then explodes. So that is pretty awesome. We also have some smoke grenades as well. So if you need to run away from a hard enemy, or just kind of relocate to a different spot to get a little bit more of an advantage, you can do that now. Then we also have Valor Surges, which is what Aloy used on the heavier human enemy in the gameplay trailer. So that looks really neat as well. All of these equipment look very, very handy in combat. And I didn't really see anything that I was like, oh, that's kind of dumb, or I didn't see anything I didn't like. So from what I've seen so far, they've done a really good job of improving the equipment that we've had existing, as well as new equipment, as well as is a welcome change of pace and just a welcome in a general sense. Melee in the first game was just okay. I think that was one of the few kind of combat elements that was just all right. So it does look like they've improved that in the sequel here. Combat looks a lot more fluid, a lot more smooth, and a lot more impactful as well, which means it's going to be more useful in a general sense. I do remember kind of in the first game having to kind of dance around enemies a lot of times just because my bow was way stronger. Really, any other kind of piece of equipment was really better than a melee attack. So if they can make kind of our melee staffs be even more useful in the sequel, I say fantastic. That's definitely going to change up the combat from how it was in the first game. So that is really cool to see, and I look forward to hopefully kind of seeing more of the melee combat in either future trailers, what have you. Another kind of cool element they've added is combos, and we saw that a little bit in the trailer, specifically with like melee combat going to bow combat from Aloy. But I'm kind of curious to see what other kind of combos we can have. Maybe with like the stick your grenades, we launch that at an enemy, and then maybe we do like a flame arrow. Maybe we can do some sort of combo there, what have you. Either way, it looked awesome in the trailer. Looked very, very useful. Once again, kind of making that melee combat a little bit less of a liability in this game and just more fun. So really looking forward to seeing kind of what else they have in store when it comes to combos against human enemies as well as machine enemies as well. Kind of most curious about that side of it. But yeah, just welcome kind of addition to the game. And yeah, hopefully we can see some new combos in future trailers. Last but not least for me is the enemy AI. To me, it does seem a little bit more improved. Obviously, this was like a gameplay trailer, so some stuff is a little bit more scripted. But kind of based on what we saw, it does look like the AI is going to be a little bit more reactive and potentially even proactive to kind of Aloy's movements in the world, whether it be kind of passive or in combat. The thing that really kind of stuck out to me was the Claw Strider pack, really hunting down Aloy. I thought that was actually a really kind of neat touch. We saw a little bit of like kind of packness with the machine monsters in the first game, but it did not look anywhere near as advanced as it does in Forbidden West. I mean, that Raptor pack, basically followed Aloy a decent amount of distance, where in the first game, I feel like they would have kind of lost interest and kind of gone their separate ways at that point. So kind of really cool to see, and hopefully we see more of that in the future as well. But especially like when incorporating a new monster that is kind of like Raptor like. Traditionally speaking, I'm not no dinosaur expert, but they did hunt in packs from what we can tell. So adding that element in there really makes these monsters feel more alive, more real, which is really cool to see. Not only did the AI look good for the mechanical beasts, but also for the humans as well. Specifically when like the humans were on top of the Tremor Tusk. I'm really hoping that is closer, or is actually in the game, because that is a really kind of neat challenge. Didn't really matter where the Tremor Tusk was looking. Aloy was kind of getting shot at. They were kind of working in concert with this big mechanical beast that they are riding. Then obviously Aloy is able to defeat it and take it on. But this looks like a really kind of fun challenge that we can kind of have in the game, which I'm very much looking forward to. I do remember a lot of like really awesome fights in the first game, so if we can have more of those going forward and in the sequel, I say fantastic. Where do I sign? All right, so that was my top 10 new things that I saw in the gameplay trailer that got me really excited for Horizon Forbidden West. Down in the comments, what do you guys think? What has you guys most excited for Horizon Forbidden West? Let me know down in the comments down below. If you haven't already, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content like this going forward, whether it's Horizon Forbidden West content, Battlefield 6, Pokemon stuff, general video game industry news. Absolutely subscribe to the channel for more of that going forward. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching the video. Do something good for yourself. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And as always, take care.